Alright, so here I am on my own on the TRACER 9 GT. So I'll give you my thoughts on what the bike is like solo riding. At the minute I'm in rain mode. I'm in rain mode because of our little escapade with Claire, and she wanted a more sedate ride. I'm not used to a bike with all these different modes, but this is what we've got, all this tech on this bike. But as you can see, I've kind of got used to the automatic gearbox, this white AMT, and I'm used to kind of cornering on it. I'm going to take it out of rain mode because we've got all these other ones. There's a custom, not sure what that is. Now well, I know that the throttle's more responsive, but you've got to dip your throttle to get into these. We're in sport, and it's night and day. You can really feel it kick in. This bike is pretty awesome, really. It's loads of fun, and it's the first bike that I think I mentioned this in the last video. It's the first bike that I've been on where the screen actually does something for me. Other ones tend not to. We've got a really blustery day today. As far as power goes compared to the Versys, this is just, oh, it's double the power, and you can feel it. You definitely can. It's, you know, everybody rides differently. I'm the type of rider that I do stick to the speed limits. So I've been taught to do it. I'm in first year. I've got to ride safely. But the thing that I like about this is if I want to get past somebody, you can do it very safely without breaking the speed limit. The gearbox and using your finger to change gears, it does become instinctive after a while. So we're a little bit worried about that. But it does so well. Motorways, I mean, we were on a motorway yesterday, and it was fine there. And this is really what this bike is made for, doing long journeys. But you can also have fun with it. Don't know why he's looking at me. That guy seems to be looking. And just check that everything's alright. Guy's got me paranoid now, thinking I've got a flat. I did have a flat in the Versys actually last week, so I went and got some repair stuff, and that was an interesting experience. So I got that repaired, got some air in it. If you haven't got one of them, if you're new to biking, obviously I don't want to teach people who's been biking a lot longer than me what to do, but if you're new to biking, you can buy these puncture repair kits, and they've got these little sticks of sticky brown stuff, and you can repair your tyre at the side of the road, and that'll plug it up until you can get it looked at properly. So anyway, I got that done. Then I got it down to Via Moto, and they put me this mushroom thing in and plugged it up, and now you know, it's all sorted now. But it's made me a bit paranoid. The problem with it was I'd got a screw in my tyre. It gives you confidence, this bike. Just get round people. And that windscreen does a really good job. Suspension on this is great as well. It's just quietly working in background. It's really interesting because if I'm on Versys, I feel a little bit vulnerable out of these motorway speeds. Not on this. We've got heated grips on this bike, and I forgot that I got them on, but you can just feel it now. Really makes the kitlers. I like this power up at this top end. This is what I suppose the Versys doesn't have. You know, if I'm up at 68, 70, it will go, but I got to think about it and plan for it. Whereas this, just wind that throttle back and off you go. Nice and easy. It's interesting because when I was doing my training, rapid training, and they were going power, 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 and I thought, well, I really am, and the bike's screaming at me. Whereas this, we've got tons of power, and it does actually feel more comfortable to do higher speeds on. It's such a fantastic bike. When I first got on it, I thought, oh yeah, just feels like what I'm used to. But you got to get it on roads where you can access that power that it's got. Just got to keep your eye on that. You got it very easy. It feels like you're not going as fast as what you are. I think that's because this wind protection and the sound of the engine. So that's motorway riding for me. So now let's do some country lanes. So this Schubert helmet, I've got a love-hate relationship with it, and I was falling out with it because I thought that it was overpriced for what it was. But coming on this bike, it's really coming to its own, because you've got this perfect seal around your chin, so you don't get any air in it, and it just feels, it's supposed to be really quiet. I wouldn't say it don't really feel mega quiet compared to that HJC that I've got, but my entire head is like in its own sealed bag. So I don't get like air blowing into me. So one thing with this bike is, if you're in sports mode, if you roll back on it, that front end does want to come up, and I'm not used to that. I don't think I could get the front end up on my Versys without going to wheelie school. Not that I want to, I'm not that type of rider. But with this one, if you give it a bit too much beans, you can feel it. So I'm just having to readjust to that bit. You know, my confidence with bikes has grown, hopefully reasonably, through training, not through just thinking I'm able to handle these. You just got to be steady. If you're going up from a smaller bike to these, you just got to watch, because you'll be fine for most of it, but then they're not as forgiving. We're probably into autumn here. It's a great test for this bike. You know, it's why you have this big screen for days like this, I guess. But I love riding in stormy weather. I know a lot of people like to put the bikes away, but I'm not like that. I love it. Just get right clothing on and you're fine. One thing I would say with this bike is, when you're riding two up, it's effortless. It feels effortless. And that makes it a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say boring, because it's doing its job. But I hope you understand what I mean. It's very competent, so it's not very exciting. And obviously you don't want to be doing stuff to freak your passenger out. But when you're on your own with this, I can imagine me and Claire, we could go somewhere with a bike like this, and then while Claire does things that Claire wants to do, I can maybe go out on the bike and have a tear around, and this bike will let you do it. I mean, same engine as an MT-09, and they've got a reputation for being fun bikes. And obviously this is a different seating position and everything else, but I just like how it goes from 30 to 40, like that. Fantastic. So got cruise control on this. I did actually have a go at it. Don't know how much power you'd need, really. That's awesome though, isn't it? I was saying this to Claire actually. the other day that I'm quite a techie person. I like tech. I like technology, cameras, phones, gadgets, all that type of stuff. But with a bike, not so much. I'm not fussed about that on a bike. And this has got more tech than what I know it's got at the minute. But I'm not that fussed about diving into it. I know that there's all sorts going on behind the scenes, but I wouldn't buy this bike for that. Just for, I like the riding of it. I'm a bit like that with guitars, you know. A lot of people love guitars and what they're made of and what pickups they've got and this, that and other. I'm not fussed. It either sounds good or it don't. Let's get around this. So it's so effortless on this bike. When I speak to people, my friends and things like that, about riding, they won't ride in rain, a lot of them. I can see why you wouldn't, if you're not that fussed, but I love it. It's more challenging. I did mention in the pillion video that when there's two of you with luggage on it, occasionally it would remind you of its weight. But when you're just on your own, it feels really balanced and really lightweight. There's no real difference between this and the Versys. See that with the screen, how it changes. It goes darker. Nice touch. I would be interested to see what it's like at night time with these lights on, but I don't think I'm going to get to see that. But it's got to go back. I would commute on this bike just because I think it's quite desirable. So, and the state of the UK for vehicle crime and what's done about it and how it's prioritised. The thing is that I honestly believe that you're on your own. You're on your own. So make sure things are locked away. But would I run this through winter as my personal ride? Yeah, it's great. Got all this protection. My arms are getting wet, but I've got this Stormland gear on, which, you know, now that we're getting into worse weather, it's really coming into its own again. Never cold, never wet. That is one purchase that I'm really pleased about. Anyway, we're going up to my favourite bit around where we live. Hob Moss. I wonder what it's like up there today. Luckily, when I did training with the Rapid, I did get some wet days or wet times. Graham showed me how to ride them. So if you haven't had that training and you're new to riding, basically stay off the shiny bits. So you can see that we've got slightly shiny bits either side of the road on some bits, and that's where the road is not as gravelly. So we want maximum grip, so we stay in between. So you've always got to be trying to weigh it up, because sometimes we can have slicker bits in the middle of the road. I think in 60s, 70s, 80s, motorcyclists were told to stay away from the middle because of oil leaks. Wow. Might have to change his plan here, guys. I'm making a quick decision. We're not going to Moss today because I don't think it's going to be much fun. Look at that rain. lean into that bad boy. A bit of a shame with weather. Obviously you got to watch your speed a little bit and stuff like this. Wow, that's a crosswind. I need to lead into it. Whoa. Yeah, you gotta watch them crosswinds coming off those fields. You got these big heavies. This'll blow me. Watch this. Slow down a bit for this. Not too bad. But that is very, very windy. What's this? There's something in the road. Wind's coming that way, I'm going this way. Top tip. And then watch the white lines. So much to think about. And that's why, when anybody asks me what they should do, upgrade the bike or spend money on training, do your training first, I think, then get your bike. That shall protect it. Because if you drop this, it's expensive. Woo! Now then, you see that? Look at that suspension working well. A bit bumpy there, but this bike, you just ease it up. So I'm not sure, this storm must have a name. Are we on here? We go through names now, don't there? Good little test for this bike. It makes you feel very confident. Not confident as in, oh, you know, I can ride recklessly, but confident in that, right, we've got a gale blowing, it's wet, it's very blustery, windy, but this bike is just going to cut through it. Obviously you got to be careful, but it just seems to just get on with its job. Such a good bike. And it's definitely one of the best ones that I've been on. You can see what this screen does actually. Your core, your actual core, stays dry, but my arms are wet. So it's all covering that. So I know there's always a discussion in the comments about like power and not needing power, and I totally get it. I get both sides of the argument. You know, we've got this Royal Enfield Classic 350, it's 20 brake horsepower. A lot of people said it's underpowered, and then other people say no, it's not underpowered, it's fine, even with two up. And I think it is fine. It is fine. It all depends what you want to do with it. This bike will obviously do more. I prefer to sit on this bike for a full day's riding. And if I were out on the Enfield now, I'd be stressing because we've got rain on it and I'm going to have to clean it down, polish it, and it's not that type of bike. It's for nice days. But if you were to only have one bike, then that's different. You've got decisions to make, and if I were only having one bike, then a bike like this or my Versys makes sense. Now with the Versys, as you all know, I absolutely love that bike. It's so good. I would have never have looked at it if it weren't for Simon, who was kind enough to give me it. But it's such a versatile bike, you know, a versatile system, that's what it stands for. As my riding's improved and my confidence has grown, then in certain situations, I do feel like I could happily take a little bit more power. Got beautiful Langsett Reservoir at the side of us. We're blessed to live at the edge of the Peak District. In fact, where we live is so good for riding because you got Peak District, you can get to North Yorkshire, you can get to Lincolnshire. All these places have got awesome roads for riding. When I get a new bike, it takes me a while to work as one with it. One thing I would say is, for roads like this, for the normal roads, having all that power, you can't really use it all, can you? It's like I'm just getting going. I could like proper, wow, give it some, but just getting going. And then you gotta like ease off. What's this guy doing? It's so easy to get around people. But I was saying, I'm in third gear, and within a couple of seconds you're done. That's it, you got to back off. I don't know if you heard that, that just changed down for me. And this bike does that. So rather than stall, it'll change gear down. One thing that I do find is, with everything being on your fingers, there's a lot of work for your finger and thumb to do. And occasionally I've forgotten to drop down into first a couple of times. Great help shout. Alright, let's have a look at it. So yeah, if I go like here, it won't let me change up. I'm trying to change up to second, but because the revs won't take it, it won't let me. We've got this little switch, and you've got a lock as well. That turns it all on. Switch gear. Yeah, there's all this going off. Plenty of stuff. It's pretty easy to get round. Mirrors are good, and yeah, there's a USB charger there. That's really handy. That's in a good spot for your phone or whatever. As I said in the other video, the only thing that I don't like about it is you can't have CarPlay. And I think in 2025, that's such an oversight. But there it is. You can see it's not as clean as when we picked it up because we're using it. But I think the looks of this bike divides people. And I think I like it, actually. I think I like the look. It looks like a bull shark. If you press this button, there you got your grip warmer and your electric windscreen, which you can adjust while you're riding. And the grip warmer, you've got 3 levels. And apparently, you can set what those levels are on a scale of 1 to 10. I've just got it on 1. That's settings. What we got? Yamaha ride control. So it'll show you basically what all the rider aids are doing. So in sport, you've got all your power, everything basically. It's just like a raw bike. At street, it calms it down a bit. Rain, it's really calmed down. And then you got custom 1 and 2. So there's more into that, and then there's the manual and automatic stuff as well, and you can change them if you want to. Stability control, so you can put all these on. We've got traction control, slide control, lift control, and back slip regulator, which is why I feel like I can ride this really well. So would I buy the Yamaha TRACER GT9? Yes, I'd definitely consider it. I think it's an absolutely cracking bike, and I think maybe, you know, if you're looking at a touring bike, but you think BMW GS is a bit heavy, then this might actually do what you need. Because I have looked at a GS and I like the idea of them, and I've ridden one. And this is obviously a different bike and it does different things. But if I'm honest, if I got a GS, I wouldn't be riding it off-road. So would I need all that off-road capability, or would I just be better off having something that's got enough power for what I need, that's lighter, but can also take Claire on the back? So I would personally have this. I think it's an awesome piece of kit and I've loved having it. And if you want to talk about it or learn more about it, then I'm sure Via Moto in Barnsley, the Yamaha dealer, will help you.